Hello and welcome to the workshop. My name's George and this is Victor George Leather Goods YouTube. So this is episode 1 of many more specifically covering old school, old world ways of tips, tricks, hacks in the leather trade long before the internet. I was self-taught for many years and we had to make a lot of our own tools and come up with our own solutions for many problems. So I'm going to demonstrate those for you through these series. And I hope you come along for the ride, and thank you. Let's get into some hacks from leather shop decades ago. So when I first started, we didn't have all these beautiful manufactured knives available to us like today. So I made my own. These are old putty knives that have high carbon steel. You can still get them in thrift shops and antique shops, and if you do, snatch them up. Anyway, great steel. I have about a half a dozen of these. This is a piece of 10-12 ounce saddle skirting. And these knives are absolutely wonderful for cutting, slicing, and skiving. So anyway, I still have them today, and I love them. All right, so that's the first of my handmade tools from back when I first started. Another thing from when I first needed to get a convex head hammer, I just bought a cheap little tack hammer. And I ground the front face to give myself a convex head, and I polished it. And these, of course, are excellent for tapping your stitches, for setting your glue line. Still have it to this day. This tool is almost 40-something years old, and I just love it. Okay, another handmade tool as part of this hodgepodge of subjects is a copper pipe reamer. And it has a beautiful, very firm wire brush on it. I just cut it off and put it into a nice handle to give it that leather shop look. Anyway, these are great for scratching your leather prior to gluing. Again, handmade, and I like it better than most of the ones you can find on the market. Okay, how about this one here? Now, I'm going to show you this. How in the world does this homemade tool from a measuring tablespoon have in common with this particular sheet? Well, I am going to show you, but you have to wait for the next clip. All right, continuing on. Here's another old one. Take an old paintbrush. I put mine in a file handle. I sanded it down, smoothed it up for burnishing. And I burnish my slots. You can burnish edges. It's just a handy tool to have in your shop, and it's easily made. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and prep the next clip to show you how these two go hand in hand for this special project. All right. Okay, let me show you on this knife sheath a problem and how I came up with a solution. So on these safety strap type knives, it's always a problem with that strap getting in the way. I wanted to alleviate that by creating a swivel effect. So as you can see, the strap swivels out of the way, and it's not a problem. But to do that, especially when you're using a copper rivet, can be challenging. I'm going to show you how I solved that problem. So basically take your strap. I'm going to demonstrate the process here, but if you'll notice with the copper rivet, you have a swivel effect that can come in handy for not only knife sheaths and maybe some holsters, but whatever project that you think. Anyway, if you saw my magic copper rivet magic show, I preset that rivet. I'm going to take my strap that I want to swivel, and I'm going to place it on there. I'm going to take my burr, I'm going to set it on top, and I'm going to take my tool, my homemade tool, and basically I just took a cutoff wheel from a Dremel and then elongated the hole that was already there. You place that in between the leather and the rivet, and now you set it. You do have to be somewhat careful because you can set this to the point where it won't come off. Okay, so that's set. That burr is not moving, and it's ready to be clipped. So again, from my a rivet set. Where's my tool? There it is. I'm going to go ahead and clip that. And I'm going to take my number 2 peener and I'm going to just peen it. But I'm not going to strike super hard. I just want that peen rounded over and swelled up into the burr so it doesn't come off. So now once I do that, I'm going to take this tool and I'm going to pull it out, okay? And now I have my swivel effect. If it's still a little too loose, you want to tighten it up just a little bit. Take your number 2 tool again and very carefully tighten that up a little bit. Now it's exactly how I want it. Okay, so that's how you solve the problem for a swivel safety strap. Okay, I hope you can use that. Thanks. Okay, here's another tip for your shop. Neat's foot oil, I use quite a bit. This is I'm not sure how much this is, but it's one of the really small warming crock pots. I have a brush on it, I have my oil. Not only does it penetrate easier, but it gives the shop a very nice room note. I also have an old hand soap pump that I filled up with some Neat's foot for just super quick applications on whatever it is that you need oiled real quick. Comes in real handy and it's on your table for immediate use. Okay, let me set up for my very last tip and then we'll continue this series down the road with lots more. Thank you. Okay, so the last tip of the day is a measuring belt that I made. Initially it was conceived in the 70s when I was doing buck stitch name belts in the urban cowboy craze days. But anyway, if you are a vendor or you have people come into your shop, this will be handy for you. It's 8 to 10 ounce belt strap. It's 54 inches long. I have a buckle attached to it. And every inch I have a corresponding number. And they're not measurement numbers, they're just reference numbers. So, say for example, a customer wants a belt. He or she would put this on themselves. And if they had a special buckle that they wanted to put, even better, so we can determine that. So they would put the belt on. Bob does not have hips, so I had to put a little bit tighter, but we'll put the belt on him, center it. And now I know immediately that the center hole for his buckle holes would be number 40. I would annotate that. They would determine the length of the tip that they wanted, say 46. And I would annotate that. Now, turn around for me, Bob. Okay, so in this particular case, I could find the center of their back, the small of their back, and I would annotate 18. If it was a Western name belt, I could find, depending on the length of their name, where exactly, I can't see the true center of the back, but anyway, I would know the numbers that I could annotate for the direct center of their back, and that's how I would get a perfect fit belt every single time without a tape measure or mathematics. So anyway, that's it. I probably shouldn't have made Bob taller than me, but I hope you get the idea. Hope you enjoyed these unorthodox tips that I have. I have plenty more and I'll be doing more episodes. So with that, I bid you a good day. Thank you.